Hello and welcome to No Rest for the Weekend presents Indie Film Reviews. I'm Jason Godbey. Writer-director Mike Flanagan revisits the Overlook Hotel with his adaptation of Stephen King's sequel to The Shining, Dr. Sleep, which stars Ewan McGregor as one of horror's most iconic characters, Danny Torrance. The story follows Danny as he grows from a child recovering from the trauma he suffered at the hands of his father and the spirits of the Overlook Hotel to an alcoholic adult who hits rock bottom and becomes lost, then found, in recovery. Danny earns the nickname Dr. Sleep as an orderly at a hospice in New Hampshire, where he uses his psychic abilities to help the residents make it through the last moments of their lives. Danny finds new purpose when Abra, a young teenage girl who also shines, reaches out to him when she discovers a group called the True Knot that has been killing and feeding on the essence of young children who shine like she and Danny. Rebecca Ferguson stars as Rose the Hat, one of the leaders of the True Knot. When she discovers Abra, she must have her to feed on, and chases her across the country like Ahab chased his white whale. Eventually, our protagonists come face to face with Rose and go head to head in a psychic showdown at the Overlook Hotel. Ewan McGregor is extraordinary, giving a realistic portrayal of a man struggling with addiction and past trauma. We see the mileage on his face as having spent a lifetime trying to suppress what makes him special, to fit in with everyone else. There are two key scenes in which he talks about his relationship with his father. The first is an AA meeting, and the second comes later in the third act of the film. The scenes reflect how Danny has come to recovery, and we see a man confront his demons head-on. These are powerful moments from McGregor where we see the heart of the character revealed. Kylie Curran shines, pardon the pun, as Abra. She has screen presence for days and holds her own against her more seasoned castmates. While Abra can be stoic and wise beyond her years, Curran brings a humanity to the character that may not have been there in the hands of a lesser actor. Ferguson burst onto the scene playing opposite Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation, proving she was a force to be reckoned with. She is incredibly compelling as Rose the Hat, and once on screen, one can scarcely take their eyes off her. More than just an antagonist, she and the other members of the True Knot bring a family dynamic to the characters who could otherwise be monsters. Yes, they are soul-sucking vampires who feed on children, but they care about each other, and their bond is compelling. Her relationship with Crow Daddy, played by Zahn McClarnon, is a loving relationship. We can see that they genuinely care for one another, even during the horrific act of murder. The layers and nuance in the direction and the performances of the cult of the True Knot add weight and depth to what would otherwise seem like generic evil beings. From one look at Mike Flanagan's recreation of some of the scenes and characters of Stanley Kubrick's film of The Shining, it's easy to see his love and reverence for the material. With Dr. Sleep, he manages to create an effective adaptation of both King's book of The Shining and the Dr. Sleep novel, as well as a love letter to Kubrick's film, which is no small feat, considering there are elements in Kubrick's film that are drastically different from the novel. It's a fine tightrope to walk, and Flanagan does so masterfully. If you're a fan of the Kubrick film, there's a lot here for you. Scenes and characters are recreated, giving us a different look at the Overlook Hotel and its inhabitants. We get to walk down familiar hallways and see familiar faces that, despite being gruesome, fans get the feeling they once had seeing the 1980 film. One scene, which was left out of the theatrical cut, is so jaw-droppingly accurate in its recreation of a room in the hotel, you'll think they shot it on the same set. There are horrific elements here, but make no mistake, this film is very reserved. It doesn't rely on startling jump scares. It's a character-driven drama about people dealing with the supernatural. The horror is realistic and the imagery disturbing. One scene in particular in which the True Knot feasts on a child victim is shockingly real and terrifying, but the horror is grounded in a reality, and that realism makes it all the more terrible. The director's cut of the film is 30 minutes longer than the theatrical cut. The additional material lets the film breathe a bit and helps to flesh out the characters. The footage extracted from the theatrical cut isn't vital to the story by any means, but it does enhance the experience of the film. Flanagan, who serves as editor as well, has given us two versions of the film that are of equal quality. The pacing of the theatrical cut is much tighter, but the director's cut feels more fulfilling. If you've ever wondered what it would be like to go back to the Overlook, or if you've ever thought, I wonder what happened to that little kid from The Shining, I highly recommend this film. It does justice to the film you love and to King's original novel. For more of our content, including our podcast and movie reviews, visit our website, norestfortheweekendpodcast.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.